Imagine a world where Julian the Apostate never died in Persia, where his ambitious vision for a pagan Roman Empire didn't crumble with his last breath, but instead blossomed. What if Julian actually succeeded? This isn't just about rebuilding temples. Julian's plan was to create a unified, state-sponsored pagan church, complete with moral doctrines, charitable works, and philosophical schools directly competing with Christianity. If he had lived another decade, perhaps two, his methodical dismantling of Christian influence could have been irreversible. Christianity, instead of becoming the dominant faith, would likely shrink to the fringes, a persecuted minority clinging to pockets of resistance. Gnosticism, Mithraism, the Egyptian cults of Isis and Serapis, they all experience a dramatic resurgence, infused with new philosophical vigor. Roman identity, far from being split by monotheistic loyalties, re-embraces its polytheistic roots, solidifying the civic and spiritual bond. Now, fast forward. The Goths, the Vandals, they're still at the gates of Rome, but they face an empire unified not by a new, alien faith, but by a revitalized tradition steeped in centuries of Roman identity. Would a pagan Rome have been more resilient? Perhaps the empire fragments differently, or even delays its Western collapse, its citizens rallied by shared festivals and ancient gods rather than theological disputes. The barbarian tribes, often Arian Christians, might find themselves absorbed into a different spiritual landscape, or remain distinct, clashing not just over land, but over the very nature of divinity. Centuries later, the rise of Islam would encounter a philosophically robust, polytheistic Roman Empire. No easy conversions of disillusioned Christians. The spread of Islam might be contained, its direction diverted, lacking the fertile ground of an internally divided Christian world to expand into. The map of Europe would be unrecognizable. Without the papacy, there's no Holy Roman Empire, no crusades to the Levant as we know them, no Reconquista. The medieval period, as we understand it, would simply not exist. Philosophy and science, instead of being filtered through a singular theological lens, might continue the direct legacy of Greek rationalism, unfettered by dogma, potentially leading to radically different technological and scientific advancements, or even stagnation in other areas. Imagine a modern world where Olympic gods are revered, where civic virtue is tied to ancient rituals, where philosophical schools dictate moral frameworks, not a single religious doctrine. A world shaped by the echoes of forgotten gods and emperors. What other turning points intrigue you? Subscribe and join the discussion.